I'm at the beach. That's good. This episode is filmed on the beach. I wanted to get closer to like the waves, but we can do that like at the end when I finish this episode. So today we're going to talk all about this topic is really important. We're going to talk about manipulation and sort of all the signs that when like someone manipulates you, like how to spot it. So the first sign is being very controlling. If someone is manipulating you, they try and control you. They may lie, they may play the victim, which is really common. They'll say things like, my life is so bad, and they'll say things like, they will play the victim to make you feel sorry for them, so then they can gain power and control over you to make you stay in their life, and that's really manipulative, and it's really bad for your mental health. And I just think that is so disturbing to do that to someone. I feel like when an abuser is like choosing someone, they normally choose someone like who is like vulnerable or in like a situation where they don't want to be alone. And when it comes to like abuse, like people find it really hard, and like really like people find it really hard to leave an abuser, because they feel like if they leave they don't have a life, or if they leave they will like obviously be upset, and the abuser like wants to control them, and they'll try and do everything in their power to make you stay in their life. And they also, another sign is love bombing. A manipulator might do some really extravagant, a lot of extravagant things, sort of like, you know, like if you have a Instagram page, they may like comment on your Instagram a lot. They will like do a lot of extravagant gifts. They'll like give you lots of gifts and like love bomb you really early on to create that sort of friendship in quotation marks, so then later on they can become close to you, and then they can end up manipulating you. So love bombing is like another sign that you're being manipulated, and it's annoying because at the time you think, oh, this person's so nice, like no one's ever done this much for me, no one's ever like given me this much compliment, no one's ever like treated me this well. And another sign is if they're coming on too strong from the beginning, which is another really bad sign. If someone is coming on too strong from the get-go, that can be a sign that they're trying to create a really emotionally tied bond with you, and that can make you really hard to escape, because you can think like, oh, we connected so well, we really have something, and like that can play on your mind a lot. And also another sign is sending mixed signals. A manipulator does a thing called push and pull, and push and pull basically means that they will love bomb you and shower you, and then they'll pull back and not talk to you for a day or a week, and you'll think, hang on a minute, where have they gone? They've literally just love bombed me and made me feel really special. And another thing is that manipulators, they make you feel like really special, and they make you feel like you're one in a million, and they make you feel like, oh wow, I've never met someone as cool as you, and things like that. But the mask will like drop over time, and what manipulators try and do, they try and love bomb you early on, and they try and like shower you with gifts and presents and all that, and they do that because they want to build a strong connection with you very quickly, so then they can use you or take advantage of you and manipulate you to get what they want out of you. And it's really depressing, because like at the time you truly feel like, at the time you really feel like they care about you, and you think, oh, they do all these nice things for me, they really care about you. But unfortunately, like, as much as you feel like they do care about you, they really don't. They're just doing it to gain trust, to build that trust. And like, when I mean build that trust, they want to try and build that trust with you, in quotation marks. They want to like be your friend, but in all honesty, they're not building anything from a foundation. They're literally just building it on absolutely nothing, just to use you. And it's really upsetting, because at the time you truly feel like they care about you and they support you and things like that, but they really don't, and it's all a lie. Another thing is, they will lie in a very sneaky way, and how they do this is they will say something that will like disturb you, and then they will like gaslight you and say, did I do that? Or they'll say something like, I didn't do that, and then they'll make you question if they actually did. It'll make you question yourself. And another thing that manipulators do, they make you feel confused. So for example, if they do something bad, for example, there was this one guy and he said, oh, I'll come back to my flat, and I said no, and then he said, I was just testing you, laughing faces. And then when I asked him in person, he said, I do that to all girls, and if they say yes, I block them. Like, and that's another sign of manipulation. And then he said he's been used his whole life. Like, obviously that's a lie. And obviously, you know, someone's testing you, that's manipulation, that's playing games, that's not being genuine from the beginning. So that's just like an example of how someone can manipulate you. And then obviously them saying to you, I've been used my whole life, that's making you think, oh no, I feel bad for this person, I want to support them. And they'll make you feel bad for manipulating you. That's just an example that I have when someone is manipulating you. So that's what they'll do. They will create a narrative that isn't true, and they'll try and create a really strong bond with you from the get-go, which is not, you think it's genuine, but it really isn't, and they're just sort of either playing games or literally just trying to manipulate you, which isn't healthy. And you need healthy, and that's the thing with manipulation, it makes you feel obsessed with them, and it makes you feel like you can't live without them. Not because it's genuine connection, it's they make you feel obsessed because they're manipulating you. It's not a genuine connection. They're not building it from the ground up, from a solid foundation. They're building it based off of a really strong connection straight from the beginning, straight from the get-go, and that is really manipulative and toxic, and that makes you want to stay, not because it's healthy for you, but because you feel addicted, you feel like you can't live without them. And that's what a manipulator does. They try and make you feel like you can't live without them. The clouds look really cool here. But yeah, that's what manipulators do. And they also, you know, they play the victim. They will give you loads of stories about how bad their life is and how crap their life is, and they will tell like all these victim stories to make you feel bad for them. So then you'll be like, oh no, I feel so bad for this person, I have empathy for him, like I want to stay, I want to fix him, I want to help him. But that's not genuine, and it's a manipulation tactic. But at the time you genuinely think that they are genuine, and you genuinely think that they are going through a rough time and they are being truthful, but it is just a manipulation tactic to make a strong bond really quickly, so then you can fall for their traps. Another thing is they'll try and they will do this thing called future faking, and future faking is where someone says, oh yeah, I'll still make time to see you after I move, or I'll still make time to see you, or they might say something like, oh, I might get into a relationship with you one day, and that is future faking. It's basically them making you have hope for a future that doesn't even exist, and that is another manipulation tactic, is future faking, and it makes you feel like, oh, I feel hopeful, I'm going to stay in this person's life, and it really messes with your head. And another signal is when someone gives mixed signals, like the push and pull manipulation tactic, where they love bomb you and then they ghost you for a week, and then they love bomb you again and then they ghost you for a week, and that makes you feel confused, and it makes you feel like, oh no, what are their intentions? I don't know what I'm going to expect. The next time I meet with them, I don't know if they're going to be happy or sad. The next time I meet with them, I don't know what's going to happen. And that is honestly, it's manipulation. And honestly, when you're being manipulated, sometimes it's so hard to see it when you're in the moment, but then you look back at it, you will see it, but it is really draining on you, and it makes you not want to leave. And not wanting to leave is the hardest thing to probably ever go through when it comes to building a friendship with someone or a relationship, when you think they're genuine, because deep down you want to believe them, but they're not being truthful. And you might have your friends and family say like, oh, this man's not good for you, you need to leave him, but then you still stay because of the love, or you stay because you really want it to work out deep down, and you stay because you think that they are genuine, but it's all games and they're not genuine, unfortunately. And I really wanted to make this video because there's so many people who go through this and they really think that, and it's sad, and I feel sad for women who go through things like this, and I feel so upset for men and women who go through things like this, because deep down you really want to think that they are genuine, but they're not, and they're just playing mind games, and they're just making you confused. And also, if someone's making you feel confused and you're overthinking it normally means it's a bad sign. And another thing that I want to say is, the sun has just come out, we have hope, guys. And another thing I want to say is that they really want to make you stay, and they really want to keep the hope, and it becomes addictive. You don't want to leave, because they've built this narrative that isn't true, of like creating a really deep friendship. And another thing is when they open up about their lives too quickly, that's also another red flag. When someone opens up about their whole life like really quickly off the bat, that is another red flag, because it makes you think, whoa, why are they opening up to me so quick? I've only met them like once or twice, like you need to slow down. And another thing is that when I was manipulated, my manipulator, we met twice in person, and then he messages my sister on Instagram saying we're best mates, and that is obviously not true. Like, you're not best mates with someone you've met twice. So that's just another example. And they really want to make you stay, like, but unfortunately, sometimes you always have to do the right thing, and if that right thing is leaving someone you really care about or love, then that's what you have to do. Yeah, and just because you care about someone, it doesn't mean you should stay if they're not healthy for you or good for you. You always got to remember like what is healthy for you, what is good for you. And when it comes to dating and meeting new people, just take it at your own pace. Don't let anyone try to gaslight you, or don't let anyone try to move the relationship forward too quickly, before you really know someone, because if you meet someone once or twice, you still really don't know who they are. Even if you think you know who they are, you really don't. So take my advice for it and be careful when it comes to dating and making new friends, etc., etc. And if something feels off, than it normally is, listen to your gut. Your gut is always 100% correct, like all the time. Your gut is never wrong, ever. So another thing is if you think that someone is being manipulative, and something like when something feels off about someone, that normally means that your gut is right, like something is off about someone, 100%. So yeah, that's all the signs that someone is being manipulative, and it's so upsetting because like it really messes with your brain when someone's manipulating you, and it makes you question things, and it makes you feel like, oh my god, like, am I crazy? That's another thing, is that they'll make you feel like you're crazy. They'll make you feel like, oh, am I overreacting? But no, you're not overreacting. If someone's sending mixed signals and red flags, it normally means that they aren't genuine, and you need to get out before it's too late. And another thing is when someone's sending red flags, just keep note of them. And normally if someone's sending a lot of red flags, it means you should get out before it becomes worse. But yeah, I'm really upset about this topic, because this topic is just really, really important to talk about something like this, because so many people go through this, and it's so upsetting to me when you feel like people are genuine, like you really feel like people are genuine, and you feel like this person is genuine, you know, them giving you like, you know, if someone's like being really kind to you, you think, oh, this person really cares about me, but they really don't care about you. They're just doing it to gain your trust, and it's horrible. It's horrible, and it messes with your mind, and it makes you feel really upset, and yeah, it's a horrible thing to go through. So this video is obviously, they're all special. It's just, it really messes with your mind, and like when you actually finally leave, you still feel like you're still meant to be in it, if that makes sense. Like if like anyone has like been through a manipulative situation, or someone who's been not genuine or manipulative, you will know what I'm talking about, is that feeling that you can't leave. And that's what a manipulative person does. They try as hard as they can to make you stay in their life, and it's not because they're genuine. It's because they're manipulating you, and that's what hurts me the most, is when I see people go through things like this, and it's horrible, because the people who are the manipulative people, they target on like people who are just ordinary people, like living their lives, and people who like are just ordinary, and people who like don't deserve to be treated that way. And like when you finally leave, you have to tell yourself, like, what do I actually deserve? And like, I deserve better than this. And you need to, every time you think about that situation, you need to remind yourself, I deserve better, I deserve better, I deserve better, and walk away. It's not easy to walk away from like someone you care about, but if they're being manipulative, then that's what you've got to do. And the other thing is that like the genuine person actually cares about this person a lot, which is really upsetting. And then obviously the manipulator doesn't care, but they pretend like they do care, and that's what's really upsetting about this topic. And it needs to be talked about more, and it needs to be up on the internet and more, to get more awareness of all the signs that someone is manipulating you, because it's really upsetting when people do stuff like that, because it makes you feel like you're meant to stay in that situation where you're really not. But yeah, that is the end of today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, manipulation, it's probably one of the worst things to experience, because it fucks with your brain, it messes with your brain, it fucks with your brain, and it makes you feel confused. And if someone's making you feel confused, then that is a sign that that is not a pure friendship or pure relationship. That is manipulation, and that is not good for you, and you need to get out. And if you are in a manipulative situation, or something doesn't feel right about someone or someone you're talking to, please just cut them off before it's too late. I know it's not easy, but honestly, like, doing the right thing is not always the easiest thing, and that's what I've learned with my past situations. Doing the right thing is not always the easiest thing, but in the long run, it's obviously is the healthiest choice for you. So, and yeah, and just because you keep thinking about someone doesn't mean you should have them in your life. And you gotta ask yourself, like, is this healthy? And if it's not, then please leave, because you deserve better. Remember what you deserve, and become better. That's all I'm gonna say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna end this video with the sea, because it's beautiful, and the sun is out, and yeah, so thank you all for watching. I'm going to show you the sea, which is beautiful. Looks beautiful. We're actually I'm not gonna dip my toes. ASMR. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Become better. And you don't need any, oh my god, it's so windy. You don't need